We spent a beautiful summer day at a farm that does you pick for these berries. We had so much fun picking these berries. We ended up picking about 3.5 pounds. I just found it so valuable to go to a you pick farm and immerse ourselves into picking our raspberries versus just buying them at the farmer's market or even the store. So that is just my little encouragement, especially during the summer. It is prime picking for raspberries for us around here. You, of course, can use homegrown, whatever berries you find at the farmer's market or even store-bought berries. Either way, I used 3.5 pounds and it got me 4 pint jars plus a little bit extra. The only problem with freshly picked raspberries is that you need to process them immediately. So before we went you picking, I knew I was gonna come home and process these. The first step is just to wash them and to sort them out. As you can tell, I had a lot of stems and white berries. Didn't take me very long. I washed them in cold water and just a sprinkling of baking soda so everything got off. Now the original recipe is from Ball. It's just their berry preserve recipe. Now I had to adjust my recipe just a little bit, which I will show you in this video, because I had more than 2 pounds of berries and I had pint jars. I didn't have any more jelly jars to use. So I will show you how I adjusted my recipe. Go ahead and get your jars soaking in hot vinegar water and get your water bath canner filled and up on the stove. The only ingredients you need are your berries and sugar. I am doing one final look through for any stems or leaves as I put them in the Dutch oven, but all you need is to get your Dutch oven on to medium or medium high heat, put your berries in, and then put your sugar right on top of it. Now I still stuck with the 4 cups of sugar, even though I had more than 2 pounds. 4 cups of sugar is just a lot, so I figured that was enough for 3.5 pounds of berries. So I just stuck with the 4 cups of sugar, and then I actually added a 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice to each jar just to be on the safe side, because I know I should have probably added more sugar to create that extra acidity, but I just didn't feel like using sugar, so I decided to use lemon juice instead. Once your ingredients are in your Dutch oven, you want to make sure you stir frequently so that sugar doesn't stick to the bottom or anything like that. Now, this honestly is going to look like you're making jam, but you're not going to bring this to a gelling point. You're just going to almost just a low simmer boil. You just want it really hot before you put it into the canner. I personally don't want raspberry jam. I have a very large stockpile of jam, so that's just not what I need for my pantry. So I just want the raspberries, honestly, without it taking freezer space, because I know you can just freeze raspberries and use them that way, but our freezers are full of other food that's a little bit more important, so that's why I'm canning these raspberries. So I am just going to boil it, bring it up to a really good simmer, and make sure it's not a jam. It's just like a little syrupy raspberry preserve. I let this simmer for about a good 5 minutes solid, and then I pulled my jars out, and then I added a 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice. This lemon juice is totally optional. This was just my little safeguard. This just brings the acidity down to make sure it doesn't go moldy or anything later. Go ahead and fill your jars. You can use a 1/4 inch headspace. I ended up using a little bit less just because I have problems with jars siphoning in my canner, and I just don't want to deal with the mess, so I did a 1/2 inch headspace, but the original recipe does call for a 1/4 inch headspace. Then of course it's wipe your rims and put your bands and lids on finger tight. Then carefully load them into your canner and bring your canner to a rolling boil. I water bath canned these pints for 20 minutes. Now, of course, you always let your water bath canner cool for 5 minutes before opening the lid. And just be careful opening that lid because it is hot, but you are done after this. I did have a little bit extra, which I love it when this happens, so I can show you the consistency. It's just really just cooked down raspberries that are obviously sweetened. It's great for toppings. I know I'm going to use it in future holiday baking. We actually ended up having French toast for dinner, and I just put it right on top of that, and it turned out so good. I am so glad that I have this up on my shelf. That is all I had for you guys today. I hope this video helps, and I will see you in the next video.